What's up, dolls and dames? Ms. Roxy Star here, back for you again today with another video, and this is my anticipated follow-up to my 60-day hair journey with the company Better Not Younger. They specialize specifically in hair products for women over the age of 40. When I found out they existed, I was thrilled. I was definitely at a place with my hair journey that was super unhappy. So when they wanted to partner with me and give me an opportunity to try their products for 60 days, I was thrilled, as you can imagine. So here we are. It's this much later. I started in April. It's now the end of June, and I want to tell you about my results and what happened. Make sure while you're hanging out with me and watching the video that you also take a moment to follow me on Instagram. Grab whatever device you're not watching me on, so your laptop, your phone, whatever else is sitting there next to you. Look me up at MSROXYSTAR at Ms. Roxy Star on Instagram and follow me there. And make sure, of course, to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There's a button right below this video. You can't miss it. It says subscribe. Tap that and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. All right, let's get into it and talk about what went down with my hair over 60 days. In a moment, I'm gonna take a magic jump to a different section of video wherein I hadn't styled my hair yet, so I can show you some things that happened there. But before we do, let me remind you about how this system works. It's a three-pronged approach. So it helps with the condition of your scalp, it helps with your internal health, and it helps with the hair you already have. So Better Not Younger tackles these hair issues that we, experience over the age of 40 from three different angles. So the hair you already have is all the products that they make that are going to literally be able to be used and create improvements on hair that has already grown on your head. The internal is something that they facilitate through some amazing supplements. So I've been taking 2 of their hair supplements for a couple of months now. And then the scalp, they have great products to help treat the scalp, because without a healthy scalp, you really can't have healthy hair. Now, let's take a magic trip over to my hair before it was styled. Here we go. Okay, let's pop in here and take a look at the hair and the improvements in a way that is similar to the way I showed it to you in the first video. So kind of same setup. It's been washed and air dried with the Better Not Younger volumizing shampoo this time. I also have in there the No Remorse heat protectant and flyaway tamer, as well as the Lift Me Up hair thickener. So the only real difference is those products have now been in play. And down here, you will see some pretty gnarly ends, and that is intentional. I wanted the product improvements to really shine by not going and getting a whole new haircut and a whole new hair color, and somehow that makes everything look especially phenomenal. I really want us to be seeing what the products have done. So I've done nothing like that to my hair. Now, let's take a look at some of the improvements that I am really thrilled about. I think my biggest concern when I went into this is right in here. The temples I had shown you in the previous video were really getting thin right in here. And I was having a hard time camouflaging that and all those kind of things. Right in here, the same. You were able to just see like a great deal of scalp, more than I wanted by far. And it was just really thin there. What I'm seeing here is that some of the benefit of new hair growth coming in from things like the supplements and the vitamins, treating the scalp and things of that nature. We'll kind of talk about that according to by product when I talk to you about the products. But the result of all of it is I feel like there is some baby hair or some new growth coming in that's starting to support and give a little bit more density right in here. I'm sure you can see how there's actually a pretty decent amount of density going on in a place where there was like very sparse hair to begin with. And also this is the result of the hair thickener. So a lot of this is, not a lot, some of this is an illusion, okay? Some of it is new growth and healthier hair and scalp, and some of it is the strands are so thickened by the product and it works so well that it also just visually looks like there's more hair right there. So I'm really, really pleased overall with how much better my styles look now in the areas right here. Okay, so as previously mentioned, another thing that had changed is I've always had fine hair, but I had thick hair. And then I've been going recently since turning 40 from fine hair to thin hair. So this is something else I'm noticing that is improved. I had pulled this down to the side like this so you guys could see how crazy just the sparseness and the thinness was on this side. Now, no doubt we're still pretty scraggly down here. But as you look through here, hopefully you can see see, as you look right through here, there is clearly more density to the hair here. Now, you're never looking for extreme results from hair products, okay? So if you're like, well, it doesn't look like massively thicker, that's not the point. Good hair products give you substantive results there, but they don't work miracles. You have to have realistic expectations. But right in here, as the new hair is coming in and growing in, I definitely feel like some of the thickness is returning and more density is there. One, I know for sure, I can just literally feel that that is coming from the fact that I am treating the scalp and exfoliating the scalp and then using the serum on the scalp. And what's happening, I've noticed, is I had said prior that I felt like my hair was like skinny all of a sudden. Even though the word is thin, I really felt like skinny was the word. Just like the strands were these teeny tiny wisps, barely a hair, honestly. And what I've noticed is now that my scalp is healthier, the diameter of the hair that's coming out is more like what it used to be. It just doesn't feel like these wispy, almost spider web like pieces. They actually feel like strands of hair. So overall, both the illusion and the actual production of a thicker hair situation, for lack of a better way to say it. To also show you the back, because I showed you that last time. So again, this is really gnarly. Just ignore this, okay? Right in here though, I had showed you as well, where this is typically a place where I have a lot more density, like right in here. But I felt like it was also just kind of less since I turned 40. And I am noticing as well, this I can feel more like feel with my hands than show you, but I can feel that there is more density and almost feels like more hairs per centimeter right back here. This is starting to feel a lot more like it used to in terms of thickness when I was younger. And this has of course been laying kind of flat. If this were to be whipped out with a blow dryer and really volumized, I fully believe I could get a pretty big hairdo back there with a nice thick look to it. Generally speaking, if you overall mostly just want products that are going to give you more volume when you style your hair, I definitely would recommend the shampoo, the conditioner, and the hair thickener. Now, I also want to get more in detail around the products that were for the scalp, because for me, those were the pièce de résistance of the entire collection. I am obsessed with the products that were for the scalp specifically, and I want to tell you what it was like to use them and experience them and why I'm in love. Essentially, and much later than I would have wanted, I realized finally over the last 8 months that with all the problems going on with my hair, that there's potentially a really big problem with my scalp. And it took a long time for me to draw that conclusion, which is crazy. But I started to kind of push my fingers down into and really feel my scalp. Now, I had had extensions in and I wear usually really long fingernails. So I frankly wasn't really feeling my scalp very much. There were hair extensions and there were acrylic nails. So once I actually started to explore with my fingertips and feel all throughout my scalp, I was like, oh my God, it was it felt textured. It felt like various areas of buildup. It felt dry. It felt unhealthy. It felt like a desert wasteland or something from what it should be. And I was right about all the buildup and whatnot that I was, projecting last time I made the video was probably causing the hair to come out so spiderwebbish. There was absolutely, the follicles were clogged and the buildup was there and it was preventing the hair growing in healthily. As soon as I started using the serum and the charcoal scrub, and then for the next day or two, I would continue to manually move my scalp around, stuff started coming off and out, which I know is super gross, right? That's not something I really want to share, but I actually was excited about it because pieces of buildup and follicles and flakes and all kinds of stuff would come off each time I would go through this process. And then as I did it more and more, there was less and less to remove. So I really can't emphasize enough the importance. If you are over 40 and you are struggling with your hair and you have not yet dealt with the element that is your scalp, you must put that into the equation. I seriously cannot recommend enough this Better Not Younger, the New Dawn. Okay, that's the activated charcoal scalp cleanser. A big part of the success I had with it was this applicator, which allows you to streamline application as you go in and then go in with your fingers and exfoliate. It's a little bit tough. I've used charcoal scrubs that don't have this application method, and it's frustrating, and I really didn't stick with those because it was too much. It was too annoying. This has really made me stick with the program. And then of course the Better Not Younger Superpower Fortifying Hair and Scalp Serum. I love this stuff. Like it was so crazy. I thought I was gonna find it annoying because they recommend really consistent use. And I was like, oh, another step, that's gonna be annoying. I'm not even gonna wanna deal with that. It's so soothing and so effective that I went from like, is this gonna be a pain, to full on looking forward to it. It feels so good when I put it on my scalp that I look forward to doing it, and I have no problem staying consistent with it. There you have it, the results that I got that I'm super thrilled about. I wanna wrap up with a little bit of, you know me, I always like to give you some self-love and self-encouragement advice, so we're gonna wrap this video up with that for my women over 40, a little self-esteem boost for you before we go. However, before we jump into that and end the video, I do wanna remind you which 9 products I used from Better Not Younger, so that if you want to mimic this, you'll know exactly how I did it and what I used. Here are the gummies. So you've got your Power Within, okay? The Power Within are the skin and scalp collagen gummies, and then you have your Significant Other. There we go. And these are your hair fortifying vitamins. I used both of these. The Wake Up Call, the volumizing shampoo and conditioner. So I definitely delved a lot into the Hair Redemption. That is the Restorative Butter Mask. I really like the texture of this stuff, by the way. The No Remorse Heat Protectant and Hair Taming Spray. And then again, the Lift Me Up Hair Thickener. There we go. Really big fan of that. This volume that you're seeing where the hair is just literally like standing up on its own, it has a lot to do with that product. And as if all of this wasn't a good enough reason to go ahead and try their system, you should also know that it's cruelty-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, vegan, and safe for color-treated and chemically treated hair. The price on all of these products I think is super reasonable and fair considering how well they work. About that, also, you will find a discount code in the description box below. So don't forget to go down below and find that discount code to get a discount off your entire order at the Better Not Younger website using my name. That's always good. Don't forget about that because you're probably gonna wanna jump in and try at least some of this. Save some coins, girl. Now, as promised, my words of advice, love, and encouragement that will hopefully give you a nice little self-love boost before we sign off. We often get to our 40s and start to reminisce or have a retrospect on what we accomplished and what we did in terms of opportunities, and then the opportunities and the things we let slide, the things we let go. Could have done this, should have done this. Maybe if I had done that, I would be in this place now. Maybe we don't always feel in our 40s like we're where we thought we would be, that we're where we should be. Like all of the greatest laid plans kind of went awry, and we're going, hey, that dream I was gonna follow never came to fruition, or that goal I had never got achieved, or my glory days are over and my chance at all of that is gone. And that's really the heart of what I want to get into, is this idea of like, everything's over, I'm out of time. I just have to like rest on my laurels and accept that I'm done, right? And I think that, decades and decades ago, that is definitely how life was viewed. I mean, 40 was old 100 years ago. You were considered old if you were over 40. The average lifespan of people is, obviously significantly longer now as well. But the point being, I'm sure if you're 40, you remember when 40 was old, right? Women weren't supposed to be sexy anymore, attractive anymore, wild anymore, any of those things, Act your age was kind of a big popular thing. But now being a woman in your 40s is exponentially and dramatically different from what it used to be. And when you think about the fact that you might not be where you want to be at the age of 40 and you feel like you're out of time, think about the fact that you are going to likely live until at least the age of 65. That is completely reasonable in modern times for any woman to live until the age of 65. And that would be cutting it off early, okay? Like if you only live to 65, that would be a really early cutoff line. Let's face it, that's still young for all intents and purposes in many ways. You are maybe gonna live to be 85 or 90. That's also not unheard of. So my suggestion is that you reframe, and instead of looking at your timeline from where you are now backwards, think about looking at your timeline from where you are now forward, okay? So instead of I'm already 40 and reminiscing on the years that have passed, think to yourself, well, I'm just now in my 40s. I'm probably gonna live to be like 80. I'm halfway there, right? If you're gonna live to say, let's say 80, you're legit only halfway through. Half, okay? And even if you don't live quite that long, you're still only maybe 2/3 of the way through or whatever. The point being, you have another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 potential years to do all the things you still want to do that you can reasonably accomplish at this point. So try to let that go. Try to just let that go and reframe. And instead of being hard on yourself for everything you didn't accomplish by the time you were 40 or how things failed as you see it, think to yourself, what can I do? What's my 5-year goal? What's my 10-year goal? What's my 20-year goal? What's my lifetime goal? And really view it and realize and look at it and think to yourself, you know what? I've got tons of time left. I've got energy. I've got resources. You probably have more resources than you did when you were young. You know, you've got energy, you've got resources. Most importantly, you have wisdom. Wisdom is everything in life. So that's my suggestion to you. If you're struggling with feeling like your time is up and your life is over, please let go of that and realize that you are probably about halfway through right now and you have more than enough time to do the things that you want to do. All right, that's it for now. Again, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Ms. Roxy Star, MSROXYSTAR on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm also on Pinterest. Join me on any of those places as well. And don't forget to subscribe. If you didn't do it earlier when I said to, make sure you do it now. Subscribe to my channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up like, and if you're really into it, leave me a comment. If you have questions about the products, leave me a comment. I love comments. Okay, now for real, Ms. Roxy Star signing out, love and glitter, and I'll see you soon. Bye.